All right, welcome back. This is Ms. Abner, and we are going to go over the vertical shift. So we're still working in the 10.7 or the graphing sine and cosine functions. We are just going to go ahead and do our vertical shift. So looking at our vertical shift, this is going to be that up or down, and it's based on this D term here. So our D term is the plus or minus here on the end. Okay, so we're going to be looking at that. So if D is greater than, you shift up. If D is less than 0, then you shift down. So we're going to start by looking at our graph. We're going to put some values in here. So I'm going to need to shift. We'll just do, let's see, I want to put in, okay. So I'm going to put in my values. I'm going to count by 2. So this is 2, and this is 4. -2, -4. And then we're going to graph our original function. So that's this time I'm going to graph my original function in that blue. So my original function for sine is going to be here. 1, 0, 1, 0. So there's my original sine function. Okay. So now this says up. So D is equal to 3. So I want to go up. So I want to go up 3. Okay. So I'm going to take my graph and I'm going to shift every point up 3. 1, 2, 3. So my new point is here. So I went up 3. I'm going to do that to every point. So 1, 2, 3, new point, it went up 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops, 1, 2, 3. Oh, so long. That line is so crooked. That was the last one. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I went up 3, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. There's my up 3. Okay. So now when I draw my new line, ignore the shaky part of my roller coaster. Okay. It can also go back this way. We're just not going to graph anything back that way right now. So as you can see, my entire graph shifted up 3. So the shift parts are pretty easy because they're just taking that standard graph and shifting it up. So then this time I'm going to graph my cosine function, and I'm going to pick pinky color. But I'm also going to highlight something on this one in that pinky color. Actually, I'll do it as a highlighter. So this here, so 1, 2, 3 is my new 0. So that's my new 0 value. So then for this one, I'm going to go in and I'm going to mark up my graph first. So first things first, I'm going to give my by 2. Two, 2, 4, negative, negative. Then I'm going to graph my cosine function, my original function. So that's the one I'm going to graph in that pinky color. So it starts at 1, goes down to 0, goes down to -1, goes back to 0, and goes up to 1. So there is my original cosine function. Okay, so now it says my D is -4, which means I'm going to go down. So I'm going to take my new 0 and go down from the original 0, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my new zero line. But an easier way to do it is just to transfer each point down. Oh, not that color. I'm going to transfer each point down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 4. Down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down 4. So then I'm going to connect my line. Okay, so there's my new graph. Notice that since I shifted everything down for my new zero line is that highlighted orange line, and the graphs look the same. All right, so now let's take a look at these ones. So they're going to be a little bit more of a shift, so they're going to have a couple things going on. So for first case, excuse me, looking at this one, it's negative. And my starting is a 2. So since it's negative and a 2, I'm going to graph my first function before I do any moves to it. So let me graph that one and set up my graph. So 2, 4, negative 2, negative 4. Okay. Graphing sine. There we go. There's my sine function. Now I need to graph my new one. So first things first, my A is equal to negative 2, and then my D is equal to negative 3. Since I have my A at negative 2 and my D at negative 3, so that means I'm going to do my line where I shift everything down. So I'm going to start with my moving down first. So my new 0 is going to be down here at negative 3. Okay. And then I'm going to be going the opposite of what my graph is going to go up opposite than where it's at right now because it's a negative, so I'm flipping it. So everywhere where I would be above the line, I'm going to be below, and everything that I'd be below the line, I'm going to be above. And remember, it's by 2. So we're going to start on our line here is at 0. So at 2 pi, instead of being above the line, I'm going to go below the line 2. So 1, 2. Then at pi, I'm going to go back on my new 0. And then at 3 pi half, instead of being below the line, I'm going to go above the line, which they're going to share that point. So 1, 2. They're going to share this point right here. And then at 2 pi, I'm going back on the line. So now I'm going to trace in my graph. Done. I've shifted down 3, so this went down. And then this was my amplitude. And so I came off the line by 2 instead of 1. And the negative is the fact that I switched which direction that I went. So this is the first time we are seeing a negative graph, which is this one. This opens opposite of parent function. And my parent function in this case is sine of x. All right, so now let's look at this cosine one. So let's set up our graph first. We're going to have, since it's 1/2, I'm going to switch what I'm using. Instead of 2s, I'm going to use 1s. But that's just because this right here is 1/2. So I want to make sure that, oh, can you guys see that far? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's just going to make sure that I have enough space. So we are going to go ahead and graph our 1/2. And the way that that's going to look is we are going to set up our graph first, because that's always what we do first. So I'm going to set up my graph first. So I'm going to give myself 1 here, and then 2 here, -1 and -2. Okay, cosine, we know starts off of the line, so it's going to start up at the 1. So let's graph in our original cosine. 1, 0, -1, 0, 1. We are not going to talk about how shoddy my graphs look. All right, so there we go. And then now we are going to look at our amplitude. So in this case, my amplitude is 1/2. And then my shift is going to be a 3. It's a +3, so we're going up. So first thing I'm going to do is shift my 0 line up 3. So from here, 1, 2, 3. There's my new 0 line. Okay, so since that's my new 0 line, I need to go 1/2 above that. So if that's my new 0 line, oh, I should have went up 4. See, good thing I'm paying attention. Sorry, up 4. And I'm going to erase this and go up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I did half. Oh, dang it. Those are halves. I think I'm going to have to change how I counted so that it fits. Okay, let me make the adjustment. All right, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm adjusting for the graph because I need to be able to go 4 above my line. So I have to say this is 2 and this is 4. And then -2 and -4. Okay, let's put my graph back in here at 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, there's my adjustment. All right, so now that I've gotten that in there, now I'm going to move my 0 line from here to 1, 2, 3, 4 above. And this time I'm going 1/2. So we're going to barely see this thing move now. So I'm going to put this in. And so I'm going to go here, which is my 1/2. So not quite to the next dotted line. And then at pi/2, I'm going back on that line right there. I'm going to go 1/2 below. Then I'm going to go back on, and then I'm going to go 1/2 above. And then I'm going to sketch in my line. Nope, try that again. Now we can see that one barely move because my amplitude is half. So this was my amplitude. This was my vertical shift. And then this one was not negative, so it's the same. So open, same as parent function cosine of x. Done. All right, so we will look at period shifts in the next video.